In this Nitty-Gritty Basics Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mah Jongg at I Love Maj. I Love Maj is relatively new on the platform, but they are taking the internet by storm. It is a fantastic place to play if you are new to the game or if you are an intermediate player on a fast track to building your skills, because they have an exercise room. That's one of their big differentiators. An exercise room with, I think, 5 different exercises. We'll briefly look at the list, but we're going to focus in one specific area because of today's topic. So I'll show you that in just a minute. But the other thing that differentiates them is they have robots with 3 different levels of intelligence, and you get to choose who to play with. So if you haven't tried it yet and you want to use a 3-week trial, you can use MAHJLIFE in the promo code to get that extra week free. And if you decide to do a paid subscription, I will get a small commission, and I do appreciate the support. I want to say thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for sharing about MAHJLIFE, and I'm looking forward to playing Mahjong today. It's been a bit of a crazy week, last week anyway, so I'm looking forward to a little bit of normalcy with lots of Mahjong. Welcome to the game. Welcome to building your skills depending on where you are in your journey to learning Mahjong. Today's topic is on testing your instincts. We're going to do a skill builder that I call Charleston chain reaction. It's an interesting exercise because you can make just about anything work with one set of tiles. You could focus on one thing and then use the same tiles and focus on something different and have equitable results many times. So we're going to do that exercise so I can demonstrate how it works. Let's see, having issues matching the tiles to the 2024 Mahjong card. Okay, so Claudia, do you mean when you get your dealt tiles, you're having trouble figuring out what hand to play? If that is the case, this is the perfect session for you. Really, all the nitty-gritty basics videos are going to be right up your alley because they all focus on the fundamentals of the game, how to pick a hand eventually. But first, how to identify the strength of the hand. That's the first thing that you need to do. Learn how to identify the strength of the hand, and then figure out what category to play, not what hand to play, but what category to play. And eventually you'll be able to pick a hand, but you don't have to pick a hand right away. There's going to be that urge to do that just because of the menu before you. Having the card makes it feel like you need to pick a hand, but you really don't. You don't need to pick a hand till you run out of discards. Okay, let's see here. How much are your group lessons? Having issues. Okay, I do one-on-one lessons. I do group lessons. You can find information about lessons on my website, and I'll put a link here. That should go to my lessons. So you can check that out and then fill out the form at the bottom of that page and tell me a little bit about yourself, and then I'll be able to make some, give you some options for how we could work together. All right, so let me go ahead and share a very, very brief presentation. Let's see here. Let me just look really quick here. I want to quickly update this presentation super quick because I want to have a visual of how to set up the Charleston practice with tiles from your own home. So let me do this really quick. Let's see here. I know exactly what I need to update it. It'll only take me a minute. So let's see here. Ask any questions that you might have right now in chat while I do this. Let's see where, oh, here we go. Presentations, and then we're going to go to, here we go, skill builders. All right. So, all right. What we're going to do is something called Charleston modeling. And the reason I call it Charleston modeling is because we're going to do a mock Charleston. A mock Charleston that allows you to practice decision making through the Charleston. And this is important because this is when you transform your dealt hand to hopefully be able to play a category on the card. Maybe not a hand yet. You don't have to pick a hand till you run out of discards, like I said a minute ago. Okay, so now we can let that go. All right, I've already got it done. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll get started. So sorry about that little bit of a delay there. Let's see. I want to add, excuse me, add this real quick here. And then I want to also add, okay, chain reaction. Here we go. Now let's see here. I'm not going to put that one in there. All right. Mary says, I love Maj. That's convenient because that's what it's called. I love Maj. A little bit of marketing genius there. Oh, you know what? I need to get my slideshow ready here so you don't see the presenter mode here. Okay, so sorry for the delay. Here we go. All right, test your instincts. And this is going to be super quick because I'm just going to show you how you can do this at home with your own tiles. If you don't have tiles at home, you can do it online at I Love Maj, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So Charleston modeling is when you take 13 random tiles. You could take 14 too, because one of the players at the table will be East and they'll get 14 tiles. So you could take 13 or 14 tiles to simulate a dealt hand. And then what you're going to do is create what I call an incoming column. So here you're going to set up 6 rows of 3. 6 rows of 3 tiles. And that is going to be first right in, first across in, first left in, second left in, second across in, and then last right in. This is the mock Charleston that will simulate passes. So what you're then going to do, or first you're going to go through a bunch of tiles and remove jokers, because you know you cannot pass jokers. If you can omit that if you want, but if you get a joker in one of these passes, just replace it with a random tile. So if you don't want to pick through like 30 or so tiles and then mix them up and create this, then just leave the jokers in there and then just exchange it. So once you have this mock Charleston set up, then you're going to select 3 tiles that you don't want, because you're going to have your dealt hand. You're going to identify the strength of the hand, which we're going to talk about. Wes, you might have joined late. Pull the little red bar to the right, because I think everybody, I think, should be able to see everything right now. Can everybody see my presentation? Hold on, technical challenges here. We're just going to make sure. Okay. All right, let's keep going then. So once you identify the strength of your hand, then you're going to figure out what category you can focus on that will use most of your tiles. You're going to take 3 tiles you don't want, and you're going to pass them to the table, basically, because you're by yourself. So, excuse me, you're going to put them in a column on the right. That's going to be your outgoing column. So you'll place those over here to the right, and then you're going to take the first right in, the pass on the bottom, and then you're going to put it in your hand, and then you're going to work it in and keep tiles that work for whatever category you've chosen. and then identify 3 more tiles to pass. And then you're going to put those to the right in your outgoing column. And you're going to go through this process by taking tiles from the incoming column and fitting them in your hand and then passing them and placing them in the outgoing column. Now, when you get to the first left, you can pass blind here. This is part of the game. If you have developed a strong hand and you don't have 3 tiles to pass, you can pass less than 3 by supplementing an incoming tile. So in this case, we passed 3, but let's say we wanted to only pass 2. You would take 1 from your incoming pass and add it so that you're giving your opponent 3 tiles. So then you're going to take the rest of the tiles and put them in your hand. And here, of course, if you're practicing at home and you decide you only want to do 3 passes, you can stop the Charleston. What you would do if you do stop the Charleston is you would move on to the optional lacrosse and use the tiles in the outgoing passes. These 3, you would take those 3 outgoing passes, mix them up, and then you would take your however many you put in and then complete the Charleston like so. Mix them up and then take 3 from there. So if you want to keep going though, then you're going to pass again your second left, and then you're going to add it to your outgoing column, and you're going to take the incoming pass from the incoming column, and you're going to complete that through the Charleston. Then you're going to do the optional lacrosse, and you're going to use all the tiles in the outgoing column, mix them up, put your 3 out that you don't want, and then take however many, if it's 3, 2, 1, what have you, and take however many you put in. And then that is how you do a mock Charleston. So when you test your instincts, what you want to do is you want to look at your tiles and identify a plan A and a plan B. And sometimes you might even have more that you can do, a plan C and a plan D. One time I did a Charleston chain reaction with 4 options, and it was really interesting. And we might even have that potential today, so we'll see. But this chart that I've created here is in my Primer Volume 2 workbook. You can create this yourself just on a scratch piece of paper, or if you know how to create tables in Word, you can create your own. But there are certain things that you want to think about when you compare results after doing the Charleston. You want to first identify a plan A and a plan B, identify which categories or hands you might even consider, and identify whether or not there are multiples, whether or not you have gaps, weaknesses, and how many discards you have. And that would be all after the Charleston. And you could then compare the results of those and identify which plan had the better result. And it will be a learning opportunity for you to test your instincts. So we're going to go ahead now to I Love Mah, and I'm going to show you how to do it online. Let's see, let me get to, here we go. That's what we want right here. Okay. And we're going to go up here. So here's I Love Mah. We just logged into I Love Mah, and to get to where I am here, you just click play game launchpad. And the game launchpad is where you play the full game. You get your tiles, you do the Charleston, and then you do the pick and discard phase of the game. You can play with robots, or you can play with people you know. You can also play with strangers on the internet. Mahjong players, so it's a safe space, usually. Then down here is the exercise room. So you can see there are 5 ways to practice different aspects of playing the game. Make a hand. This is where you create every hand on the card using the tiles. And feel free to jump in here and do these exercises on your own. It's intuitive. So we're not going to look into any of these right now. But they have what hand is that? Basically, they show you a hand and you got to figure out which one it could be. There's also a couple of a Mahjong, which is a game, kind of a gamification exercise, and then also a heavenly hand that you have to figure out what hand it is. So I invite you to practice your skills by using the exercise room at I Love Maj. All right, so now we're going to go into Charleston practice, and we're going to do Charleston chain reaction. And I call it chain reaction because every decision you make during the Charleston impacts the next somehow. Unless you're passing all 3 tiles, then there's going to be no impact. But if you keep even 1 tile, it's going to make it's going to create kind of a domino effect or a chain reaction. And eventually you're going to have something at the end of the Charleston that looks nothing like what you started with, hopefully, for the better. So let's get. So the first thing that I like to do is sort by suit. And then you look at your dealt tiles. And with American Mah Jongg, just the game theory used to create this particular version, it is a game of multiples. Multiples are pairs, pungs, kongs, and even a quint, I guess, if you have jokers. So when you get your dealt hand, target multiples, because that is one of the big differentiators in American Mah Jongg. It is a game of multiples. Every hand on the card uses multiples. Even in the singles and pairs, you have pairs. That would be a little multiple. But most of the card uses big multiples, pung kong, pungs and kongs. So if you target them, you're going to set yourself up for success, as opposed to targeting just a predominant pattern and ignoring multiples. So target multiples if you have them. And in this case, we do. And incidentally, I know we're going to have an opportunity, or I'm going to create an opportunity for us to start where we have no multiples, because that does happen. So in this case, we have a 6-band pair, a 7-band pair, and an 8-crack pair. 6, 7, 8. Those are consecutive tiles. So that would be the category we play. Sometimes when you have more than one multiple, it can show you which category you're playing, because that would be where the best place to start. So in this case, we're going to do 6, 7, 8 of some kind, and that would allow us to use these multiples. So if we do 6, 7, 8, we've got lots of tiles we can pass here. When you're working in mixed suits, because we have 6, 7 in BAMs and an 8-crack pair, when you have mixed suits, typically the range of numbers is around 4 numbers around the multiple with mixed suits. So we're not going to be able to use that 3. So I would say that is a clear discard. The East would be a clear discard. And then we would just need to find one more good pass, or one more good tile to let go of. We do have a hand in here with no gaps. 4, 5, 6, 7. Second hand from the bottom in 1 suit. 4, 5, 6, 7, or even 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 BAMs, 6, 7, 8. And then the 8-crack would be something we can let go of or break up. Whatever we end up playing here, we didn't use the 5-crack or the 7 dot or even the white dragon, but typically I will not pass a white dragon unless I have to, especially if there's a corresponding suit in that pass. So probably what I would do here is pass the 5-crack. And we have a couple of ways that we can go with the second hand from the bottom under consecutive run. In this case, because we had more than one multiple, we were able to actually find a hand with no gaps. That's not always possible, but in this case it was. So let's pass and see what we get. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pick a plan B. That was plan A, consecutive run. And really with these tiles, plan B, I would say plan A, plan B would be the same hand in 1 suit or mixed suits. So let's see, 4, 5, 6. Let's see here. Hold on, someone. I'm getting everything is ringing off the hook here. Sorry for the dinging. Okay, so here's another potential hand, fifth hand down. So we have a few different hands we could maybe play within the same category. Plan A, I would say would be the second hand from the bottom under consecutive run. Plan B could be the fifth hand down now that we have the dragon. Maybe plan C could be the second hand from the bottom in mixed suits, but there's a gap. 6, 7, bam, 8, 9, and cracks is what we would need, and we have no 9. So I think what I would do is probably pass 1, 7, 4. This probably wasn't, because we had so many multiples, this one really did not lend itself to a good Charleston chain reaction because we had such a strong start, but we're just going to play it out. Okay, so here we have 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still within the same category. So let's just continue. We're going to play it forward here. There's a 3, 4, 5, 6. Just because it's the same suit doesn't mean you will be able to use it, though, because of the design of the game. Second hand from the bottom uses only 4 numbers, so we really don't need that. I would probably pass 3, 4, 6. Okay, so no keepers here, and I would pass that. Oh, look, we ended up with an 8, 9. 6, 7, bam, 8, 9, crack. I would pass probably 2. Okay, so now the results here would be that we have 4, 5, 6, 7 in one suit, second hand from the bottom under consecutive run, or we could play 6, 7, bam, 8, 9, crack. Second hand from the bottom on the right in 2 suits. We have really this 8. I would keep it too. We have 3 discards. That was a really good Charleston. Since we were in one category, I think we're going to work with new tiles and try to find an example of a dealt hand where we could play different categories for a different level of complexity. So I'm going to do new tiles this time. Okay, so let's see what we have. This will be interesting because we have one pair this time, a 2-dot pair. So with a 2-dot pair, I would look for other numbers that could be used with the 2-dot. In this case, I do see a 1, 2, 1, 2. So we could maybe play consecutive run, 1, 2 of some kind. We could also maybe play a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand, but we have a gap, no 6. So I would say, in this case, plan A would be consecutive run, or maybe even like numbers. Really, we have 3. I would say we have 3 in here: consecutive run, like numbers with 2s, or evens. So let's start. I think let's see. I think like numbers probably has the best opportunity here. So I would say like numbers with 2s for plan A, consecutive run, 1, 2 of some kind, 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe, because in mixed suits you usually want 4 numbers around your multiple. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a 4, but no 3. And then we could do plan C would be evens. So I'm going to pull up just a, let's see here. Let me open my Word document here. I think I have that chart ready to use. And let's see here. I think I made a chart, a digital chart that will help with this exercise. So let's see here. Speaking here. There it is. All right. Okay. So here's the Charleston chain reaction piece from my my workbook. We're just going to use that. We have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. Let's see. This is not editable though. Plan A, plan B, plan C. This is a download. Okay, I'm going to use a notepad. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do, actually, I'm not going to use a notepad. I'm going to use Word because then I can make it bigger so you can see it. All right, so plan A is going to be any like numbers. Plan B is going to be consecutive run, 1, 2, 3, 4, and plan C is going to be evens. Okay, so let's save that to the side here, and we're going to start with like numbers. So we would hold everything we can use with like numbers. So we're going to keep all the 2s, the dragon, and the wind. Because if you look under any like numbers, you've got a dragon hand and then a news hand and then that first hand with flowers. So you want to keep everything you can use in that category. And that leaves us with the tiles to the right of the flower for passing. All right, so let's break up the 1, pass maybe the 7 with a 4. 1, 4, 7. Okay, let's see what we get. There's a dragon. We got to keep her, and a south. And we have tiles we can pass. So you really don't have to pick a hand until you run out of discards. You gather. You gather for whatever category you've selected. In this case, we're gathering for 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, any like numbers. We're gathering for any like numbers. We'll do evens later. Okay, so there's a 2. So we'll keep it, and we have tiles we can pass. It really simplifies the decision making. There's another 2. And we want to keep going. If you would stop the Charleston here, let me know in the comment section, because some people might stop the Charleston here, but we're in between hands. I would not stop the Charleston. I would pick something to play and keep going. So if you would stop the Charleston here, I would say keep going if I were coaching you. And I would probably play either the dragon hand or the flower hand because we have all 3 2s. If you look at the wind hand with news, the third one down, only 2 2s are used. So by letting the winds go, we'll have 3 tiles to pass, and we can still leverage the 2s. So we're going to keep going, and we're going to pass a wind. We got a dragon, and we have tiles we can pass. We have 3 tiles we can pass, and even though this is all 1 suit, that looks a little risky, and it is a little bit risky with a 1-9 in 1 suit or a 6-9 in another, but we have a really strong hand, no gaps. So for this particular hand, we have a hand with no gaps and 4 discards. Let's see, we're even set for that. We just need a 2 crack. That's our only vulnerability. We could pung the dragon, the green one, pung the red, and Kong the 2. We have 4 discards. That was a fantastic Charleston. I would say for this Charleston, we would be a contender. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say we ended up with any like numbers number 2. We have no gaps, 1 weakness, and 4 discards. So we were a contender. With 4 discards, I would say you're a contender. If you have less than 4, I'd say you are an underdog. If you have, let's see, if you have more than 4 discards, you're an underdog. If you have less than 4, you're a front runner. So here we're a contender. So our position is contender. The hand is any like numbers number 2. So plan A, there's plan A. the hand, and our position. So now we're going to compare with consecutive run. So this time we're going to do consecutive run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Let me undo that. And then we're going to document the rest of this here with these other options. So here's plan C. We'll get to that one in a minute. So we're going to do consecutive run, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see how it goes. Oh, you know what? I forgot. We could pass 3. We still needed to do the optional across. Still same result though. Okay, so now in order to work with the same tiles, you click replay. So now we're going to focus on 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to hold 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 2, and we're going to let these go here. Let's pass, let's say a 7 with a 9. North 9, 7. So we're focused on 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a 2. And then we're going to pass the dragon with a wind. There's a 3. We're going to keep it. Just keep every tile that you could potentially use for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, because this dragon, we could maybe use the dragon for the 5th hand down under consecutive run, but we'd have to throw away a pair of 2s. I would rather use the pair of 2s. You want to target the multiples if you can, and then use those to drive the decision, because American Mah Jongg is a game of multiples. Okay, we got a 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in BAMs, a 2 crack, a 1, 2 in dots. We definitely want to keep going. We have 3 tiles to pass, including a flower. Now, usually I do not pass flowers. So I would look at my hand and try to figure out what else I could pass, because passing a flower would be very risky. I probably would not do it. And I also would not stop the Charleston. I would keep going. So we're going to keep the flower. We're going to pass the 5 and the 9, and then we're going to let something go. So if we have a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, this 4 BAM, 1, 2, we do have a hand in here with no gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we have a hand with no gaps 2 ways. We could do 1, 2, 3, 4 in one suit, or 1, 2 dot 3, 4 BAM. So I would let the 2 crack go. 1, 2, 3, 4, second hand from the bottom. Okay, now here, that's going to be risky, passing 2 dragons. I probably would not do that. And I probably wouldn't pass a flower either. I would probably let one of these go. We have 1 BAM, 2, 3, 4 in BAM. The 1, 2, 3, 4 in BAMs, or 1, 2 dot 3, 4 BAM. I think what I would do, I think I would focus on 1 suit. That would allow us to pass safely instead of passing a matching suit. Green dragon corresponds with BAMs. Okay, now there's a 3 crack. We might be able to use that if we get the 1 dot back. So let's just see. Here's a 1 BAM. And we have 3 clear discards here. We have lots of 1, 2, 3, 4. We could maybe even play the concealed hand. 1, 2 dot, 1, 2 BAM, 3 crack pair, concealed. I would probably pass 2. And I would pass a 5, 6. Although we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're already committed. I said 2. Let's just do it. Okay, so we have 3 discards, and we have actually we have, since we gave away the 1 dot, we actually have 4 discards with joker bait. Flower, 2, 3 crack, green dragon, 6 dot right here, 4 discards, and then we have this pair of 2s that we might be able to use to get a joker later. So I would say consecutive run number 1, 2, 3, number 7-1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7-1, and we have no gaps. We do have 3 weaknesses. 4 discards with Joker bait. Okay, so that was the result on that one. And I would say here, we're an underdog. With more than 4 discards, you're going to be an underdog. So between any like numbers and consecutive run, any like numbers was the better choice. So now let's look at what the result would be if we focus on evens. So we're going to do replay with the same tiles. And now we're going to hold evens. So let's hold, I don't remember if there were any 6s in here. Oh, there was a 6 in here in the Charleston. So let's keep all 2, 4, 6, 8. The dragon hand in 2, 4, 6, 8 corresponds, and our pairs with the 2 dot. So I would not keep that dragon. And I would probably break, excuse me, I would break up the 1. Okay, so here's a 2. We'll keep it. And you really don't need to pick a hand. All we know is we're focused on even. So we're just going to keep every even. And then we're going to do the best we can with our passing. Let's see. Maybe, yeah, the 1 would be a fine pass here. Here's a 6 and a 2. And we have tiles we can pass. Now this is a little bit risky, but I want to optimize my potential for my own hand first. So I would be willing to risk that. Okay, no keepers. Now here we do have a dragon that corresponds to the BAMs, and there is a multiple in there, the 2 BAM. So we could maybe do that 3rd hand down. 3rd hand down, maybe. We could also maybe do, let's see, 2, 8, 4. Well, the 2nd hand from the bottom, we could maybe do under evens. I would keep going, and I'd let something in here go. Let's see, with 2s, these 2s are really not helpful. If I weren't focused on evens, I would switch to like numbers with 2s. I think I would let the dragon go. Okay, we got an 8. And we have 2 tiles to pass. So now we have to whittle out a keeper. I would not pass a flower, probably. Let's see, we have 2, 4, 6. We do have a hand in here with no gaps. 2, 4, 6, bam, 8, crack. 2nd hand from the bottom on the right. I think I would let the 2 dot go, because we could also maybe do 2, 4, 6, 8 in 1 suit. Oh, look at that. I would not pass that, probably. Let me just, my OCD is acting up here. 5, 7, 9. I would not pass that. I'd probably let the 2 dot go. Because a 5, 7, 9 in 1 suit, that's super risky. And we have even though we have a hand with no gaps, it's weak. Okay, so we picked up a 6 dot, so I would keep it. And I would pass 3. And we got, oh, look, someone gave us a flower. Okay, so let's see if we can use it. We have a pair of, this is why you don't want to pass flowers. I would maybe look at that 2nd hand from the bottom. 2, 8, 4, 6. We need the 4, 6 paired up, so it's a little weak right there. But we have 3 discards with joker bait. So let's go back here. If we play that 2nd hand from the bottom on the right, let's see here. 6, 8, 2, 4, 4, 6. I was thinking, could we maybe do a multiplication hand, the one above it? And we do have some tiles for that 2nd hand on the right, but it's pretty weak. I would not focus on that, because, yeah, I don't think I would. But there is some potential there. Second hand from third, let's see, fourth hand down. Let's see, 2, 4. Yeah, I think I would play probably the second hand from the bottom and probably keep the 2 bam for a while. So I would say we have options. So that would be the 5th hand down with 3 discards. So here, evens number 5, evens number 5. We have no gaps for really 5-2. No gaps. We do have 3 weaknesses because we can't call for the 2 crack. We can call for the 8 with a joker, and then we need to build up the 4 and the 6. So I'd say that's 3 weaknesses, and we have three discards with joker bait, really 4 discards with joker bait if we don't use the 2 bam. Okay, so I would say with that many discards and weaknesses, we're an underdog. So this is how you do Charleston chain reaction and how you test your instincts. So there's our results. Any like numbers. And I think in this order, this is how it panned out. Any like numbers was the best choice, then consecutive run, then evens. But you could see just how flexible Mahjong is, because you can make any of these work if you just dig in and focus and gather for whatever category you choose. So any one of these would work. I think the like number hand had the clear best result, clearly. So I'm gonna, let's see, kind of normalize this here. Okay, so I'm gonna add this to the video description, and I will include a link for skill builders so that you can see how to do this. I have a wiki article on skill builders, so I'll include that in here or in the video description. So let me quickly do that. Does anybody have any questions about this skill builder? Okay, so let's go ahead and play with robots now that I've demonstrated how to do Charleston chain reaction. Let me go ahead and add this to the video description, though, for anybody watching the repost. Look in the video description so you can see show notes. Okay. All right. So now we're going to play with robots, intermediate robots. You ready? Okay, open to live games. No, we're going to play with robots. All right, here we go. So now you want to target multiples. This is the number one way the best way to start the game. You target multiples if you have them. Here we have one right here, 1 bam pair. Oh, I forgot that I was going to try to do a Charleston chain reaction with a hand with no multiples. We'll do it after this game. We'll go back and do it. So there's a 1 bam pair. So with the rest of these tiles, we have a 1, a dragon, a north. We could play like numbers, but we could also maybe play 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 3 tiles to pass. Now I would not pass like numbers. In my opinion, that's almost as risky as passing a pair. So I would let something go. Since we don't have any other dragons, I would let that white dragon go. And I would be okay with letting a white dragon go because I want to make sure that I have the best choice for my hand. So let's pass those. We have another 1, and we picked up a 3. We have 2 tiles to pass for sure. Always identify your clear discards, so then you know what you have to come up with. In this case, we have 2 clear discards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 as our predominant run in consecutive run. We have a 1, 2, bam, 3, 4 crack, or we could play like numbers with ones. We have 2 pairs of ones. We have a pair of ones and a pair of threes. So we're in between 2 different categories, like numbers and consecutive run. Anytime you have choices and one of the choices is consecutive run, go with consecutive run because it is the most flexible category on the card. So in this case, I would probably still keep the 1 and let the north go. Because without other wins, a single north is not useful. If we played news with ones, that would be the 3rd hand down under like numbers. We have no other wins. So I would rather focus on what we do have. Focus on the facts, the tiles that you have in your hand. Focus on the facts. Okay, so we have a 2. We have 2 clear discards. It's a little bit risky here, 8, 9. So we have a 1, 2, bam, 3, 4 crack. That is a hand with no gaps. And that's probably what I would focus on. 1, 2, 3, 4, pung, pung, kong, kong. So I would probably pass the 1 dot or the 2 crack. I'd probably break up the 1 dot and focus on 1, 2, 3, 4 and bams and cracks. Second hand from the bottom on the right under consecutive run. Because there's no gaps. There's a 3. And we have tiles we can pass. So 1, 2, 7, I would pass. Okay, we've got tiles we can pass. With a 3, 9, it's a little bit risky, but even if we were to pass the 5 instead, still very risky. 3, 9 would work for 3, 6, 9, and that's a tough category because there are 2 numbers in between each of those numbers. So it is a challenging category. If I'm going to pass tiles for a particular category, that would be the one. So I would let that go right there. Okay, no keepers. I'd probably pass the 5 since it does not correspond. That's called an offsuit dragon. The 5 is offsuit from the dragon. Okay, so we got the 2 crack back. I probably would keep it. Oh, no, I wouldn't. Oh, look, we have like numbers with 2s and 8s. There is some potential in here for 2, 4, 6, 8, but we have no 6. Anytime you have a gap, just remove that from your list of options. We're not going to play evens because we have no 6. I would pass 2. Maybe the 2 dot with an 8 bam. Okay, so now let's see. We do have 2, 3, 4 dragon. I suppose we could keep it for a little while because there is that 5th hand down, but we have a gap, no 5. So I would say probably not. Those are probably going to be discards. But we do have 4 discards and a hand with no gaps. So I would say we're a contender here. We could even actually be a front runner because we have an extra tile since we're the dealer. So I would say after we discard, we're a front runner because we will end up with only 3 discards. If you have less than 4 discards after the Charleston, consider yourself to be a front runner and play to win, hard and fast. So here we could pung the 1, pung the 2, Kong the 3, Kong the 4. We can act on every part of this hand. That's called being set, and it's a place of strength. So you push to win. So we're a front runner on this. We'll pung. So let's let the dragon go. We'll call. Even if you expose a joker, it's okay because we're probably way out in front with these other players. That's my assessment. So I would risk that joker because I think we're way out in front. When you're a front runner, you can take on more risk. That's why it's good to try to figure out what your position is in the game so you know how much risk you can take. If you're a contender, you want to play a little more conservatively. And if you're an underdog, you take no risk until you have a stronger hand. and you just gather and focus on hand development until you're a contender, when you can take on more risk. As an underdog, very low risk approach. Here we can take on risk. Like right now, we can call this 4, and I would, because we're now going to be ready to win after 2 discards, 2 rounds of discards. So I'm okay with exposing these jokers because we're in a place of strength. We're a front runner. So I'm going to calm. And now we're ready to win on a 3 crack. And we're still in the begin game. Okay, we don't need a 4 band. We don't need the 3 dot. We're looking for one of these joker exchanges, hopefully. No, don't need that. Okay, now we're going into the middle game. 80 tiles. Okay, so someone got one of our 4 cracks. Oh, there's a couple jokers up for grabs. Oh no, just one of them. There's an 8 crack right there. I thought somebody would call that, but it looks like that was discarded up here. First round of discards. Okay, come on now. We need a keeper. Our winning tile. Oh. Okay, we're at 40 or 58 tiles remaining. 2 crack can go. Okay, so now there's 2 jokers up for grabs, our 2 bam and the 8 crack. Okay, now this player to the right, they're playing 5, 6 bam, 7, 8 crack. So they do not need a 3 crack. They're going to discard a 3 crack if they get it, most likely. The player to our left, we don't know what they're doing, and Joe Curtis is concealed. Oh, flower, I would discard. We're playing to win. Okay, we have 2 more picks, and then we'll be in the end game. Oh, there's another joker up for grabs. Let me see. Yes. Oh, someone got our 2 bam. Oh, someone got the 9 dot. Oh, look, we're ready on a pure hand here. That means the value of our hand will be doubled if we get that 3 crack. Oh, a 3 bam. We're in the end game now. 8 bam. No. Okay, come on now. We've been waiting a long time here. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a couple jokers. Oh my goodness, there's another joker. Come on now, keeper. Okay, 7 bam. No. 24 times. Oh, somebody else got it. Shoot, we waited a long time. We were ready after 2 rounds of discards. Our tile was in the wall. So we have players in 3, 6, 9 and 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're going to exit and we're going to go back down to Charleston practice, and we're going to do an exercise where we have no multiples. Okay, now here we have a 1-2 pair and a 5 dot pair. So I'm going to exit and we're going to do this again until we have no multiples. So you can see how to handle it when you have no multiples. Here's a 7-8 paired up, so we're going to let that go. Okay, we got a 2 pair, 3, 4 pair in there. We're just going to keep doing this until we have a hand with no multiples. 5, 6 paired up. Okay, come on. I did this the earlier, or last week actually, and it took me forever to get a hand with no multiples. So I'm hoping the game will cooperate. Nope, there's a multiple in there. Bear with me until I find a hand with no multiples. There's a multiple in there. We're not going to do this for long though, because I don't want to waste our time. Okay, is this one? No. Pung of 9s. Come on, game. Cooperate with us. Okay. No, we got a multiple of 4s in there and flowers. Okay. This is somewhat of a hand with no multiples. We do have a pair of flowers, so let's just pretend like that's not a pair. Otherwise, besides that pair of flowers, we have all singles. So here's what you do. You look at the hand and see if there's a pattern that reveals itself. Sometimes you won't really see much of a pattern, so you might look for like numbers. In this case, we have 2 9s. So that's where I would start. 9s. 9s, we could maybe do 8, 9. If we get a 3, we could maybe do 3, 6, 9. We could maybe do like numbers with 9s. So when you get a hand with no multiples, look for like numbers, and that will more times than not show you some kind of a pattern. In this case, like numbers probably will be the category. So then I would break up. Oh yeah, we do have 1s as well. Let's do 5, 4 dragon, since we have a pair of flowers. Okay, so we ended up with a 9. Here's a 7 bam. I would hold consecutive tiles. Here's a west. Okay, so I would focus on like numbers with 9s. Oh, you know what? Let's see, we had like numbers with 9s or 3, 6, 9. So let's do this with like numbers with 9s, and there's some 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's do consecutive run and then 3, 6, 9, and we'll compare results. So here, let's pass 6, 8. Well, we could have done maybe 1s, but we had also 8, 7, 8, 9. That's why I went with 9s, because there was more to work with. If we had 2s or 3s, then we could have maybe gone with 1s. But because the 9s had an option with consecutive run, I went with 9s, Melanie. Okay, so here we go. We have another west. That is a multiple. And we do have tiles we can pass here. Okay, so we do have tiles we can let go of here. No problem. Okay, so we still have tiles we can let go of. I would maybe pass the 6 dot instead. Okay, what is going on here? Hold on one second. What is going on? Oh my gosh. All right, sorry about that. I had something that I needed to take care of here. Okay, so here we go. We're looking at news with 9s. Okay, so we have tiles we can pass. I probably would let that west go, so we're not passing 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I would pass 3. All right, so this is how we ended up with here. We have a hand with no gaps, like numbers with news. 5 discards. So we're going to be an underdog for this one. So let's replay. We're going to replay. Let's see here. We had, now where did, hold on, let me get that Word document up again. Okay, so this was the first one. We're going to do, it was 9s, 3, 6, 9. We were going to do 3, 6, 9 for one. We were going to do consecutive run, 6, 7, 8, 9 for another. That was another option. And then this one we did like numbers with 9s, number 3. No gaps. And let's see here. We had, we did have a weakness. We had 2 weaknesses because we could Kong one of the 9s, I believe. So we did have two weaknesses and 5 discards. So we're going to be an underdog. So any like numbers, underdog. Now we're going to do consecutive run. So we're going to hold 6, 7, 8, 9 of some kind. We don't know yet what we're going to play. You don't have to know. You just pick a category. You could do, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 numbers in a range around the strength of the hand. And we can hold the 1 for a little bit. Okay, so now let's pass a wind with a dragon and a 5, a 4. How about that? Because it doesn't match. Okay, there's a 9. Now we have a multiple. Anytime you develop a multiple, reassess. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. No gaps for the second hand down under consecutive run on the right. So I would let the 1s go. They just did not come in. We did get 2 wins, but I would probably break up the wins, not pass 2 wins together. Okay, there's a 6. I would hold it for 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have no 7 dot, but we do have a joker here. We have 3 discards, so we can keep going and still hold all these tiles. Okay, now there's a 7 and a 5. And we have tiles we can pass. This is where I would pass 6, 9 instead of 7, 9 or 6, 7. I would pass 7, probably 6, 9, 6, 9. We have 5 through 9 here. And I would pass those. No keepers. I would pass 3. There's a keeper, 6 dot. So in this case, we have 5 through 9. First hand on the right under consecutive run. 5 through 9. 3 multiples. We have 2 weaknesses. We can use this joker maybe for the 7 dot. We have a weakness with the 8 and a weakness with the 7. We have joker bait with the flower and 3 discards. That was a really good Charleston. So we have CR number 1-2. So you can kind of document your results and share it with an instructor to get some input. So we have no gaps and 2 weaknesses. And we have 3 discards with joker bait. Let me see here. 3 discards, right? Yeah, 3 discards right here with joker bait. I would say that we're a contender. Even though we have 5 discards, we have joker bait with a flower, which usually does not make good joker bait, actually. But I would say because of the hand having 3 multiples, I'd say we're a contender. And we are a dealer here, so we have an extra tile. We're going to end up with 2 discards after we start the game. 2 discards. Let's see here. We were a dealer, so really we had 4 discards. 4 discards. No gaps, 2 weaknesses. Since we were the dealer, I would say we were a contender there. 4 discards, you're a contender. 2 discards with Joker bait. 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 through 9 is what we ended up with. Okay, now let's try 3, 6, 9. Let's see what we can do with 3, 6, 9. Okay, so we're going to keep 9s. We're going to keep the 6. And we're going to break everything else up. Now, there are offsuit dragon hands in 3, 6, 9. You want to keep every tile you can use in that category. Because there are offsuit dragon hands, 4th hand down, and then the 6th hand down under 3, 6, 9, we're going to keep the dragon. So let's break up the 1s and maybe pass, break up a wind. Okay, let's see. The last pass was 2, 4 dot 2-year tiles. Okay, I can't undo it, but thank you, B. We're going to keep the flowers. We're going to try to work in the flowers. There are 2 hands with flowers. So 2nd hand down and then the 2nd hand from the bottom. We don't have any keepers, so we're going to pass those. Still no keepers. I would break up these 5s. Let's see here. Okay, there's a 6. We're going to keep going. 4, 1, 8, 4, 1. Maybe the 5. Let's pass a wind here. Okay. No keepers. The south of, let's say, a 1 and an 8 can go. Okay, no keepers. 1, 7. We can pass that. Still no keepers. We may, I don't know if we can use that dragon. We definitely have tiles we can pass. How about a 1, 4 here? No keepers. That was terrible. We don't even, well, we do have a hand in here with no gaps. We could maybe play the 3rd hand. Let's see, 5th hand down. No. 4th hand down with dragons. Actually, no. That doesn't quite work because we need BAMs. So we don't even know what hand we're playing. We're clearly an underdog. I wouldn't even keep these probably. This was terrible. 3, 6, 9 was a terrible. Let's see, we have 7 discards and no hand. 7 discards, none. Gaps, weaknesses. We don't even know what hand we're playing. None. 7 discards. Okay, so now we would definitely be an underdog. Why is it doing that? Okay, now, so here we go. Any like numbers had the best, let's see, actually consecutive run, I think was the best choice. 2 discards with Joker bait is what we had there. And then any like numbers was still possible. We were a contender for those. Okay. So let me know what you think about that exercise, Charleston chain reaction. Let's go ahead and play with robots now for the rest of the session. We'll try to squeeze in, let's say maybe 4 hands if we can. All right. Oh, look, we have a widespread, no multiples here. So I would focus on number tiles. We have like numbers with 1s. We have like numbers with 7s. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. I would say the predominant pattern here is 6, 7, 8, 9. And it is consecutive. That is a powerhouse. I would focus on consecutive run, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's some potential here for big odds. 5, 7, 9. There's even a hand there with a dragon. 5, 7, 9 dragon, 3rd hand down on the right. Oh. Sorry about that. Let me pull it back. Okay, so here it is. We have no multiples. No multiples, so I would let the West go and look for like numbers. We have 1s, 7s, 1s and 7s, but we have a lot more to work with 6, 7, 8, 5 through 8. Nancy, you might need to catch up to the live stream because the screen is on. 579. You might want to drag the little red dot at the bottom of your screen and join to the current time. Okay, so let's pass one. Let's pass a 1 with a 4. Okay, here we go. So we're doing 6, 7, 8, 9. There's our first multiple. When you have a new multiple, reassess. So we have a pair of 7s, 6, 7, 8. Maybe we could even use these dragons here. We have tiles we can pass. And I would probably let that north go because we have no other wins. And here we have a 1, 3, 5, 1, 3 crack, 7 dot pair. I would stick with 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I would probably pass 1, 5 with a 3. It's a little bit risky. Actually, you know what? There's a hand. 5, 6, 7, 8 dragon. We could do the let's see, the second hand down or the fifth hand down. Probably what I would do here is let the 5 bam go and then maybe the 9 and focus on 5 through 8. Okay, no, well, we could maybe use that dragon. Okay, so here's 6, 7, 3, 4, 1, 4, let's say with a 6. We still do have 2 7s there. Oh, there's 2 keepers. How convenient for us. And we have tiles we can pass. Now here, let's see, we have 5, 6, 7, 8. We could use all these dragons. We can pass these tiles. No keepers, so we can pass 3. Okay, we have a dragon paired up. So I would focus on the second hand down, leverage all the multiples. 5, 6, 7, 8 dragon. Second hand down. We're the dealer, so we have an extra discard. We have 4 discards. So we're going to be a contender on this. We could pung the 6, pung the 7. We need a little help with our 8, our dragon here. We need to Kong that, so we have 1 weakness, but no gaps. And I would just let this flower go. So we're focused on the dragon here. Second hand down. There's some jokers up for grab. Oh, that went quick. Okay, let's call. We're going to pung. And then I would let the dragons go. We have 1 weakness here with our 8 dot. So they're playing a 3, 6, 9 hand. We're going to call, pung. Okay, we need that 8 dot. Hopefully we'll get it soon. Okay, now we're going to need a joker because our dragon was discarded. Well, we have a single 8. That means it is a weakness. So we have 2 weaknesses actually, because we need a pair of 8 dots and we have a single, and we need to Kong the green dragon, and we have only 2. So we have 2 weaknesses right now. And one makes us vulnerable, the 8 dot. So we have a vulnerability here. But I'm okay with risking that personally. Pairs are tough. Yes, but I wouldn't let that hold you back from expediting hand development. I would still push forward, because if we get even one more, like let's say we get a joker for the green, we could call the green and be ready on an 8. So we're very close to being set. We're 1 away from being set. If we can get a joker, and we're supposed to get 1.6 jokers from the wall as an average that you can expect. There's 3 jokers up for grabs right now. Somebody won. All right, let's go to the next game. These robots are tough. Okay, so we have pairs that don't necessarily go together. We have a 1 bam pair and a 9 crack pair. So this is where you would look at the rest of your tiles and figure out what you have more of, and go with the multiple that has more supporting tiles. We have a 1-2 bam with a 3 crack, and here's a 1 dot. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. But we have 6, 7, 8, 9 with more tiles. So that's what I would focus on. I would focus on 6, 7, 8, 9. Go with whatever you have more of. We could even maybe play 3, 6, 9. There's a 3, 3, 6, 9. So I would probably pass 1, 2 north. 6, 7, 8, 9 of some kind. Yes, Melanie, that's what I would do. 6, 7, 8, 9 of some kind. We don't need to pick a hand until we run out of discards. There's a 7. Here's a dragon. We have 6, 7, 8, 9 dragon. We do have that 5th hand down that has some potential, maybe even with that dragon. I would probably let the 3 crack go and focus on 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there's tiles we can ask here. We have to let something go. I would probably focus on cracks, 6, 7, 8, 9 dragon. We have 2 potential hands with no gaps, 2nd hand down and the 5th hand down. So I'd probably let the 6 go here and not pass like numbers. Okay, so we have north 1 with a 7, let's say, or maybe the 2 would be good here. Okay, so there's a 9, and we can break up the 1 and pass the 4. No keepers. We got a keeper. 8 crack. 6, 7, 8, 9 dragon. Either the 2nd hand down or the 5th hand down under consecutive run. We have 3 discards. So I would say that we are a front runner. We do have, let me see here. We do have weaknesses though. The 6, 7, if we play the 5th hand down. If we were to play the 2nd hand down, we'd have to throw away a 9 crack. So probably I would say we have 4 discards and let the green dragon go and say we're a contender until we get a 6 or a 7 crack, because we need pairs. We need 2 pair for that particular hand. We could also maybe play the 2nd hand from the bottom on the left. 6, 7, 8, 9, pung, pung, kong, kong. So let's just see how it goes. Now here we would have to make a choice already. We could pung for that 5th hand down, but we have weaknesses, the 6, 7 and cracks. Because of that, I would not pung here. Instead, I would kong and play the hand below 2nd hand from the bottom, pung, pung, kong, kong, and I would call. Because we can kong the 9, and all we need to do is build up the 6, 7. That's a hand with no gaps. So I would call and kong. And then I would let the dragons go. So we need to build up our 6, 7. Those are weaknesses, but we have no gaps. Okay, now there's joker bait with a 2. We're going to throw that when we get to maybe 60 tiles remaining. We can discard 1 and see if someone makes an exposure with a joker. That's our tile, but we're not ready. That's okay though, because we can use jokers. I would probably hold that just in case it's in our range. Now I would let it go at this point. There goes our other 7 crack. So, oh, another one. We're going to need jokers. We'll definitely need jokers to help us with our 7. But that's okay. It's one of the beauties of this kind of a hand. You can use any number of jokers. So here's a joker we can use. If the 6 goes down, I would use it. Because we need to pung the 6 too. And we're going to need 2 jokers for the 7 crack. There are 2 jokers up for grabs, white dragon and 8 crack. 6 crack. Let's pung. Okay, we're 2 picks away from 60 tiles remaining. That's the sweet spot for joker bait. Don't need a flower. Oh, flower again. Okay, we need a joker exchange. Oh, oh yeah, we need to let the 2 bam go. There's another joker up for grabs. Okay, let's let the 2 go. There it is. Joker bait worked. Exchange. Okay, now we need another joker for the 7 crack. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jokers up for grabs. Oh, shoot. Well, we came a long way and we had weaknesses, but it kind of came up for us. We're only 1 away. All right, let's play again. All right, now we have a pair of 4s, 4-band pair. You really can simplify decision making by training your eye to target multiples. The 4-band, that's the driver for the hand, 4-band. Whatever we do, we're going to use the 4-band. We do have 1, 2, 3 in the same suit here. 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 there. We also have, oops, we don't need that 8. We also have a 4, 5. We could do 4, 5 of some kind. So I would just stop there. We could do news with like numbers. I would stop there because we need tiles to pass. So we could do like numbers with 4s or consecutive run around the 4. Okay, so now we have a 4, 5. Here's a 4, 5. We have 1 discard. So now we make choices. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 4 bam, a pair, 5 dot pair, 4, 5, 4, 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, northeast. I would let a wind go here. And then we need to let something else go. We have 4, 5, 4, 5. 1 through 5, 3, 4, 5. I'd probably let the 1 bam go. You can't keep it all. You want to try to use your multiples. Right now we have 4 bam, 5 dot. So we're going to try to get what we can to use the 4 bam and the 5 dot. And it just came in. 4, 5 bam, 4, 5 dot, 6 crack pair. That would be the concealed hand under consecutive run. There's a hand with no gaps. We could even do 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 suit, second hand from the bottom. And we have discards. I would say these would be discards. I would probably keep that 4. Let's see now. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 in 1 suit, or 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. I think the best potential here is the concealed hand. And there's a 4. Here's a 3 now. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and a pung of 4s. We have 1 discard. So we're in between. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 4, 5. Let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5 in 1 suit. If we did that second hand from the bottom under consecutive run, we could use the 5 dot as joker bait. We could also maybe do 4, 5 bam, 4, 5 dot with a 6 crack pair and use the 3 bam as joker bait. Since we have a flower, let's let the 2 bam go and see if we can get another keeper. Because we could do 3, 4, 5, 1 suit Kongs. There's a keeper, 5 dot. So I would play the concealed hand. We need a pair of 6 cracks, so that would be a weakness. And we need to build up our 5 and our 4. So we do a 4 dot. 5 bam, 4 dot, we need to build. You know what else we could do is the third hand down under consecutive run and in mixed suits. 4 bam, 5 dot, 6 crack. So we have 1 discard with joker bait. And joker bait this early in the game is not helpful. We would need to get that pair all the way to 60 tiles. So instead of holding it for joker bait, I would break it up and pass 2. Okay, so we did not get any discards. We have or any keepers, sorry. We have 4 discards. So I'd say we're a contender. Probably though, since we're playing a concealed hand, until we get this pair, I would say maybe we would be an underdog. Now, if we play the 3rd hand down on the right, mixed suit Kongs, we could be I think an underdog as well, because we would have 5 discards. So we're an underdog on this one. So let's see if we can get some keepers. There we go with the dragon again. Okay, now there's another pair. So I would just reassess this at this point and let go of that concealed hand and probably focus on the 3rd hand down on the right. So if a 4 bam goes down or a 5 dot, we can Kong. We need help with our 6 crack. That's the only weakness we have. And of course, we can use jokers there. Here's something interesting that showed up. Oops. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 4th hand down. We would have to throw away a 4 bam. Single pair Kong. Let's just see what happens with the 6. Three, 4, 5. Let's let the 3 bam go. So really this 3 dot is joker bait at this point. Flowers are really going down. Oh my goodness. 3. That's not helpful though. Let's stick with it. Wow, the flowers are really going down. Okay, now there's a joker to help us. I would throw these away, I think. Well, actually, wait, I would hold it because we could still maybe play the concealed hand here. I was kind of hoping someone would claim the flower with jokers, but it seems that the robots don't want flowers.
5 crack. 6 crack.
That's our tile, but we're not ready.
Call.
Oh, look. Okay, here's an interesting situation. We have the 6 crack and there's 6s here. We have 4, 5, 6. 4, 5. Three, 4, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6. I would take the joker because we could maybe use this for a 3 crack or maybe even use it for the 6 crack and still use this flower. Let's just see what happens. If we can get one more joker or a 3 crack, there's a 3 crack right here. We could do 3, 4, 5 mixed suit Kongs. So we're playing a gap hand at the moment. Oh, darn it. Yeah. All right, next game. Okay, let's see. We have news. News with a 1 dot pair. So I would hold wins and the 1. So let's see. News. News. We don't have flowers, so probably I would look for an opportunity to play the concealed wind hand. Concealed wind hand. Maybe the 5s would come in for like numbers. So let's do 2, 8 with a, let's do a 7 here, actually. Okay, so here's a north. We also have 4s. We have 1s or 5s or 4s. Let's see here. Let's keep the 4s instead of the 5s so that we're not passing evens. There's a 4. We can pass these 3. I would actually, now that we have that 4 crack, I would break up the 1. Okay, we ended up getting a 5. Well, let's just keep it. It's a little bit risky. Okay, 3, we can let these go. No keepers. 3, 8 is fine. There's a west. We really don't need the west. Oh, pair of 5s. Okay, so we can do 5s or 4s. I would probably let that west go and pass 2. So we're playing news concealed with like numbers. We were given like numbers. So we're just going to let those be the discards. So we have, let's see, we have 3 discards with joker bait. I would say we're a contender for this one. There's the 1. So we're concealed. We've got no gaps. That was quick. These robots seem to have very convenient tiles, I must say.
6 crack. 6. 1 crack.
I don't mean anything by that. I'm just saying, oh, there's a 5 dot. So now that we have 2 pairs of 5s, we can use the 4 crack as joker bait. Oh, here it is. Let's see if somebody takes it. So that won't be good joker bait. No power. That's our tile, but we're concealed. Okay, so east, I guess I would keep it just for a little bit. Maybe we could do east and west with 4s, but there's already a 4 crack out right here. So probably I would not play east and west or north and south with 4s or 4 or 5. I would just let it go. Yeah, these robots are shady. Oh, darn. We're getting beat. We're getting beat by the robots. We're getting abused. There's a joker for grabs, another joker up for grabs. Oh, oh, we got a pung of 4s. There's already a 4 right there. Oh my goodness, they always get the dang jokers. Come on now. Share the wealth. That's our tile. We're concealed. Oh, west. Oh, west. I would be tempted to switch to the first hand at this point. There's a west and a south out. Somebody else could be doing wins here. It would be the player Joe, probably. Let's just see. Oh, darn. Darn it. Oh, our hand. Well, I suppose we could have punged that, but the Souths are down. I think we're closer to the concealed hand, even though we have extra wins in here. Our tiles are going down. Oh, bad beat. Okay, now we have 5, 6 pairs. So here's 5 crack pair, 6 dot pair. Makes it easy. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 numbers in a range around your multiple. So I would break up the winds. Oh, you know what? Hold on. There is the north, south, east, west with offsuit Kongs. Third hand down. Let's see. Now that's kind of risky right there. I don't think I would do that. I think I would break it up. Okay, let's see. So here's 9, 2 with an east. Okay, so there's north and south now. North and south with 5, 6. Here's a 1, 2. I would let something go. 1, 2, 3, right there. Okay, we have tiles we can pass. I would pass 2, 5, dragon. Okay, let's see. No keepers. 4, 5, crack, 6. We do have a hand in there with no gaps. 4, 5, 6 mixed suit Kongs. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Okay, no keepers here. I would pass 3, 2, 5, dragon. Okay, no keepers there. I would ditch the dragons. We could maybe still do north and south with 5, 6. Oh, but there's a pair now. I would play 4, 5, 6 mixed suit Kong, third hand down on the right under consecutive run. And I would let these wins go. And then the 3s. Well, the 9 and then the 3s. Oh, that's our tile, but we're not ready. We can use jokers though. There's one. So we have 4 discards now. It's 8. We're in the begin game still, 85 tiles. I'd say we're a contender. We're a contender for this one.
Yeah.
Even though we do have a weakness with our 4 bam. All right, so 9 dot will go next. Okay, there's 1 joker for grabs here. That 5. Let's see. Let's let the 1 crack go. We have 3, 4, 5. Let's just take a peek here. There's 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Oh, there's a 7. We could do 5, 6, 7 instead of 4, 5, 6 because there's a 4 bam already out. There goes the other one. So I would let that go. And I would let these go too and go with 5, 6, 7. And there's a 7. So we're in a much better shape there. I would say we're probably still a contender. Let's pong or Kong. Okay, now let's let the 4 go. So I would say we're still a contender. Maybe a front runner if we get 1 good pick. There it is. Now we're a front runner. We can Kong, and we have our pair. There we go. So now we're ready to win on a double weight, 5 or 6 dot. 5 crack, 6 dot, ready to win. All right, come on. Oh, come on now. I would like to win. We need a keeper. I almost accidentally discarded that flower. We got Mahjong. Mahjong! Woohoo! We got one. Oh my goodness, these robots. Yikes. Five. Okay, we were a front runner. Here's another front runner at the table. They're one away from like numbers with flowers. So this player on the right, they had a good chance there to win too. Okay, here we go. We're going to try to play again. Oh my goodness. All right, now we have ones, sixes, and eights. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Ones, sixes, and eights. One, we do have 3, 6, 9 in here, but we have no 9, 8, north. I would let the north go, and I would probably break up the 8 and the 1 and focus on sixes because we have a predominance of 3, 6, 9. And then we get ones. Oh my goodness. Let's let the east go. Let's keep the ones and let the 3 go. Okay, there's a 9. So there's a hand now. I would let that dragon go. 9. We can break. We definitely want to keep going. 3, 6, 9, first hand. First hand under 3, 6, 9. Let's see. I think I would leave this 1 dot with a 4 man. There's a 9. I would keep it. 1 for red. Okay, we have no keepers there. 4, 1, let's say. There's a 6. So we've got 3, 6, 9 of some kind, 4 discards, and we do have a hand with no gaps, which would leave us with 6 discards, and that would be the first hand under 3, 6, 9. I would say we're probably an underdog, but it is a hand with no gaps. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. I would just wait it out and just gather.
1.
Let's see here. 5, 5, 6, 5, 6. We do have some 5, 6 in here. 5, 6 dot, 5, 6 bam, 6 crack. We're just going to wait and see.
So, call.
There's some jokers up for grabs. These robots love dragons. Okay, now here's a flower. Okay, we'll ignore that. No, I would not call anything because we don't know what hand we're playing yet. All right, now under 3, 6, 9 with flowers, we have really one hand that we could probably play. 3, 6, 9 with sixes. So we need a 3 crack in here. 3, 9, leverage the sixes. I would still hold 3, 6, 9 here. 3, 6, 9. We could do 3, 6, 9 and bams with sixes and hold the 9 crack as joker beat. So second hand down, leveraging the pair of flowers. Let's just see what happens. Another flower. Okay. All right, let's just see. You know what I would do? I would probably switch to like numbers with sixes and a Kong of flowers. I would wait. I would switch. 3, 6, 9 with sixes. We could pong that and still play the second hand down under 3, 6, 9. So we're in between like numbers with sixes and flowers or the second hand down. And either way, we don't need the 9 crack. So we're in between second hand down under 3, 6, 9 or like numbers with sixes and flowers. Joker exchange. We need a pair of 6 bams. We're set, really. We could pung the 9 bam, pung the 6 dot. We have an extra flower and a 9 crack. Okay, now here is where we would need to decide if we're going to switch, and I would, because we can leverage the flowers. I would call and then use the 6 dot with the joker, Kong the flower. We're set. We weren't really, we had an extra flower for that second hand down, and we had a vulnerability with the 6 bam. So that's why I gave up on that second hand down under 369 and instead went with a hand of least resistance with this 4 flower hand under like numbers. Okay, so we need to Kong the 6 dot. So we still need one more good pick here. There's 4 jokers up for grabs. Okay, they're playing 1, 3, 3, 5, second hand down on the left under odds. There's a keeper for us. We need to Kong the 6 dot, so we need a good pick for our 6 dot. Joker exchange. They're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. Sneak. They're a sneak. 2 crack, pure pung over there. Okay, we need a joker exchange. There it is. Okay. We're ready on a 6 dot. There it is. Mahjong. Woohoo! Yes. Oh man, that was kind of a quick turnaround on that one. We have like numbers with 3s over here. It looks like the 369 like number hand with dragons. 4th hand down under 369 on the right, that would be west. And then we have 7, 8 north and south, 2 away. I would say they were probably a front runner too. Over to the right, we have 2 discards. Everybody was a front runner on that one. Okay, let's squeeze in one more game. Okay, we have a pair of 4 bams. So that's where I would start. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5 of some kind here. We could maybe do 3, 4, 5, 6, but probably not. I suppose we could keep that dragon and instead maybe let the 6 dot go. We have 3, 4, 5 dragon, 3 crack, 3, 4 dot. Okay, so there's a 5 dot. Here's a 5 crack, 1 crack. We have 1 clear discard there. If we're doing 3, 4, 5, 4 dot or 4 bam, that's what we're focused on, the 4 bam. Really, this 1 is not helpful. 1 crack. We could do 3, 4, 5 double run, 4th hand down under consecutive run. I would let that dragon go. Okay, now here's 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, there's 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, look at this. We have all 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5. Oh, we have to just pick something. Let's see here. 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. I would let the 6 go. We're doing first left. We could do the concealed hand, maybe 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. But I think we should try for 3, 4, 5, 2 ways. We have to just pick something. It's arbitrary at this point. Okay, let's just see what we can do here. We just had to pick something. Let's keep the 4 because maybe we'll get it back. Okay, there's a 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's the dragon back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dragon. 3, 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 6, 7. This 3, 4, 5 in dots is really weak. I would just let it go. Okay, now 9 bam. We can't use that really with a 4 bam pair. Okay, so let's let the 5 dot go to. We don't need any of these. We can pass all those. That was an interesting situation there. Okay, so we're going to let these wins go and we'll focus on bams. Okay, there's a 7. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7 dragon. So probably the 1, 3 can go.
7, 9.
4, 5, 6, 7 dragon. 5th hand down. Pung, pung, kong, kong. No, pair, pair, pung, pung, kong. We could also maybe do the 2nd hand from the bottom on the left in 1 suit. Oh, there's an option for the 2nd hand down under consecutive run. Another option for the 2nd hand down. Okay, now here we could pung. It's the first 5 out. I would wait here. See what comes in. Okay, now here we could do the 2nd hand down, and that would be the pair for us. Or we could pung and play the dragon hand and pung here. Since we have a pair of 4s, we could pung here or let it go. It's the first one. I would let it go. Okay, now there's a 5. There's 2 pair now. All right, so let's see if the 7 bam or 6 bam go down. I think I would focus on 4, 5, 6, 7, either the dragon hand, 5th one down under consecutive run, or the 2nd hand from the bottom on the left. That would be 7-1. 7-1. We could still maybe play the 2nd hand down with these other dragons. Okay, now there is a deciding tile because we can't call that. I would switch to the 2nd hand down instead, because otherwise we're going to need a joker for that green because we can't take that. So we're switching maybe to the 2nd hand down or still the 7th hand down on the left. Okay, now here we have to make a choice. We could pung. And I think I would go ahead and pung and play the 2nd hand down. Otherwise, we're going to need a joker. So let's pung. We have our pairs, the 4 and the 7 bam. And we have options for the dragon. Probably the white dragon because there's a red out. Uh-oh, let's let this go now. Someone got our joker already. That's a pair for us. Okay, 1 joker still up for grabs. Oh, there's the second one. I would let that go. Okay, now we do have a 4 here, but we're committed with a 6 bam pung. We're committed. We can use any number of jokers here to help us. We need to let this 3 bam go. Oh, there's our tile. All right. That's a pair for us. We don't need the 5 bam. Oh, they won. Okay, that's it. Oh, these robots are formidable opponents. That would be putting it nicely. Thank you for hanging out with me on this Nitty-Gritty Basics Let's Play live stream. We're going to be back again in an hour for Nitty-Gritty Prime Time, where we're going to play big hands. We're going to force big hands. Big hands are pure hands, quints, and singles and pairs. I suppose concealed hands might be considered big hands as well. So we're going to try to force big hands. So join us. Oh, thank you, Wes. Yeah, everything is good. I got a clean bill of health. I mean, I still have things to work on, but the procedure on Friday went very well, and I'm squeaky clean and healthy as can be. So no more procedures for 10 years. Woohoo! Yes. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching my videos and for sharing about MAHJLIFE. And I'm going to have an announcement. I have a new feature coming out on my website at MAHJLIFE, MAHJLIFE.com. A new feature will be rolled out on Wednesday. So if you're not part of my Facebook group, I'll make the announcement there. And then you'll see, you can kind of see it right now if you go to my website and click on blogs. Click blogs and you'll see it. You'll get a sneak peek into the idea. So have a peek at it and let me know what you think. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. I actually think I did think of this earlier, but I only just now realized I really should roll this out because I'm already doing this already. So anyway, go to my website and you'll see what I'm talking about. Click blogs and you'll see it. And please participate. Thank you. All right. Thank you, moderators, for helping monitor the chat. We'll be back again in an hour. I'll go ahead and sign off unless anybody has any questions. All right. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.